Hello and welcome to chapter 257 of my streaming adventure. Thanks to those who were just hanging out with Steven as he 3-0'd a Vintage Cube League. I'm playing something not quite Vintage Cube power level, but I don't know, maybe we'll see. It is making waves in Vintage, and that is Displacer Kitten. Let me bring that one front and center here for you. So, Displacer Kitten is I don't want to say Splinter Twin-esque, but I mean it's combo enabling, so it is Splinter Twin-esque. The idea being 4 mana, 2/2, so that's not impressive. But if you cast a non-creature spell, you can exile up to 1, so you don't have to, target non-land permanent you control, and then comes right back in. So effectively, you're blinking stuff by playing spells. So what I've seen seeing play in Vintage, I could bring up real quick, is the idea of you have a bunch of Moxes, you play Moxes, and obviously that's going to flash things in for you very quickly. But Justin Gennari, I am actually level 1, has been playing things in Vintage, and we'll take a look at this. So, if you have Teferi, and you play, you have to start with having Kitten out, right? If you have Kitten in play, Teferi kind of puts a shields up moment that your opponent can't interact, so maybe we put Teferi in play first, and then play our Displacer Kitten. Any spell you play after that will start to do the blink thing. So you could play a Mox, blink Teferi, it comes right back, except it's reset its counters. So let's use the minus ability to pick up the Mox, draw a card. Replay the Mox, triggers the Kitten, blink Teferi. Teferi's brand new, minus on the Mox, pick it up, draw a card. And so on and so forth. So with Teferi, Kitten, and a Mox, you can draw through your deck 1 card at a time. And Teferi themselves creates like a shields up, it prevents your opponent from interacting with you other than, say, Boseiju, Odawara, and stuff. And I was thinking, it's foolproof. I was not thinking about, the Boseiju and Odawaras of the world that exist. So that's one version of it. Now, Joe Dyer, Volrath XP, over on MTG Goldfish, posted a list that is using Urza Saga and Karn. I'm trying to bring everything on the screen. I don't know if I got it all. Okay. And the idea there is how can I display this better? There you go. So in this case, if we have Displacer Kitten out and Karn wishes for Lion's Eye Diamond. Play Lion's Eye Diamond, blink Karn. Okay? Use Karn to now wish for Tormod's Crypt. Play Tormod's Crypt, blinks Karn. You can use Lion's Eye Diamond for mana, and then activate Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt is sacrificed, putting it into your graveyard, and then Tormod's Crypt exiles your graveyard, meaning Tormod's Crypt and Lion's Eye Diamond are now exiled. However, Karn has special wording that says you can get the cards that Karn wishes for can be from your sideboard or from exile. So now, with Displacer Kitten and Karn, we have infinite mana, which we can then use to either Walking Ballista our opponents to death, or we get Mycosynth Lattice, which is also an instant kill. Now, I was like, I like the things that Teferi does. I like the things that Karn does. Why not kind of play them both together? So now, those are ideas from Vintage, and then here's a legacy, say, proof of concept. By that same token, Anurag on ZD MTG played a Jeskai Orion build and was able to get a 4-1 in those 20th anniversary qualifier, prelim, whatever you want to call it. So using same story, we have Teferi, we have the Displacer Kitten, and in Legacy, using Mishra's Bauble, because we don't have Moxes. No, we don't have the good Moxes. We have Moxes. Theoretically, we could use Mox Amber, right? Mox Amber says... What does Mox Amber say? So Mox Amber says, tap to add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures or planeswalkers you control. So let's replace the Mishra's Bauble with a Mox Amber. Or just follow me here. I play Mox Amber, blink Teferi with the Displacer Kit now, tap my Mox Amber for mana, and now bounce it with Teferi. And now I'm generating blue or white mana every time I go through the iteration, as well as drawing my cards, and that's going to get me to the point that I play Monastery Mentor. Now I have Monastery Mentor, and trigger, and trigger, and trigger, build myself an army, and then have Force of Wills and Force of Negations to protect myself. So they had a Jeskai build. Jeskai build seems pretty powerful because you have Pyroblast for the Delvers of the World. Expressive Iteration on its own is just surprisingly a really good card. And I don't know if the reason he played Yorion was to fit as many cards as he possibly could. But that is a proven 4-in-1 that we could say. What I'm wondering is it possible to have just a blue-white Teferi build that also has Karn elements in it? So having Displacer Kitten, Karn, and Teferi together. So I'm going to start by taking the red cards out of here. And maybe I'll just put them in the sideboard for now. Take the Volcanic. What else is there? There's a Plateau. Take those red cards and move them over. I do like the idea of Mox Amber as a way to generate mana, like, as opposed to something like Mishra's Bauble. Mishra's Bauble will do the job, and you'll draw cards, you'll draw cards, you'll draw cards. But the fact that Mox Amber can create mana in there, maybe that's part of the reason he was playing Yorion. If your combo involves drawing cards every time, you better make sure you have enough cards in your library to be able to get there. That's kind of funny. Karn. So if Karn the Great Creator comes in, this could effectively just kind of be a blue-white control deck. A blue-white control deck that is waiting to combo you off. That feels Splinter Twin-ish. We have Prismatic Ending, we have Swords. How good are Mishra's Baubles? Mishra's Bauble's really only here to combine with the combo, but so is Mox Amber. Can Mox Amber tap for colorless from the Karn? No. It could tap for blue thanks to Narset. When I was playing the Underworld Breach deck, it was interesting to have Savine's Reclamation because, say, in that deck, if you brain freeze yourself, you mill stuff over, Savine's Reclamation could always buy it back for you. See, I'm just wondering, is this just a bloated 80-card deck for the purposes of just being an 80-card deck? Could we trim this down and be more straightforward? I don't know about these prismatic vistas, so let's just start by taking those out. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fetches versus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fetchable lands. For these purposes, it might be worth having. I'm looking at both engineered explosives and prismatic ending. Having a third color to let me, should that be a triome? What is the Jeskai triome called? Because I know they're not called triomes. It's like... Or no. Jeskai is enemy colored. So it would be in the triomes if I spelled triome correctly. Roggin. There we go. So from that, I think I can remove Yorion and friends. I'm not sure about Snapcaster still, but I could see an argument to keep. You only have to trim 11 cards. Is that all? I like the idea. Well, no, not even that. We need to add sideboard stuff. So we need a Lion's Eye Diamond. Put a good one. We need a Tormod's Crypt. We need Megasynthlatus. And a Walking Ballista. Those are, let's say, minimum combos. Do I want to have this weird one? I'm going to say no. Okay. So I would say that's almost minimum setup for the Karn sideboard. And then the question is, are there going to be times that I'm better set up to do... what's the liquid metal coating? For purpose, I could put one liquid metal coating for the times that it's right. Okay. So we have our Karn, we have our Karn board. 4 Brainstorm, 4 Ponder. I'm going to cut a Bauble. I do question if 23 lands is enough. I mean, that's 30 land for 80 cards. Here's 18 land, but you also have the fast mana and stuff coming out here. There's a lot of things available. Maybe I should change it to things that I actually own. Okay. So 975 play points. I'm going to go ahead and open my player reward pack. Cool. Okay. So 975 play. I guess that was what I was checking is how much do I really want to test this idea versus the blue-white Teferi? Like, I like the idea of the blue-white Teferi. We still have to trim 10 cards out of the main. I mean, 4 force, 4 force of negation, 4 force of will seems like a lot. Whereas if I were to try this Urza Karn build that looks cool, let that give me a feeling for, do I need the Teferi protection or not? I think more importantly, we need to change these Lotus Petals. Lotus Petal. So, remove, add, Mishra's Bauble, Mox Opals. So this is, you know, the 8 cast-ish, not necessarily, but City of Traders, Ancient Entomb, playing a quick Chalice of the Void. You also have Sai, Grim Monolith. You're trying to quickly accelerate out that Displacer Kitten or a quick Karn, and then have protection up when you go for it. I do wonder, like, would Karn want to have Defense Grid? See, here's an interesting, like, having Dismember, because this deck folds to Collector Oof, for example. You know, needing to think about those kind of things. Oh, and Snaring Bridge. Snaring Bridge is a good one. Come back to this idea, add in Snaring Bridge. Try spelling it correctly. Okay. So we got our artifact package. Yeah, we cut an... Ooh, Ethersword Canoness is an artifact that we can tutor up to be clever. Alright, I've talked myself back into this deck. So only a couple Karns, but you only need a couple Karns. Remove. Karn's the whole point here. Do I care about Caracas? I mean, I don't want to cut low on land. Caracas gives me an out to a couple different things. I could cut Narset, but that feels weird. I almost prefer, like, so this original deck, well, no, it had Mishra's Bauble and it had Engineer's Explosives. What if I just didn't play Bauble? Is that not enough low-cost things to get the combo started? Should I add another Engineered Explosives? I like the idea of Engineered Explosives because not only can it do things, it's set up as ready to be your enable. Alright, we're at 62. Does Snapcaster have enough things to do? I would say yes. I think that it feels like the 2 cards too many are probably the Karns. Because then that makes me wonder, well, should I go back in the other direction? Should I have just max out on everything and get myself What other blue-white cards should I have that I don't have? I just go back and get the Sabine again. If I have one of these, is it worth... Does it make more sense to just go back to the Jeskai deck? Take that existing base. Can I shove Karn into this? Is Karn worth the expressive iteration slot and... See, this is the kind of thing that I go through, and I talk myself out of things. It's either, should I play this, or should I play this ready-built Karn deck? I just feel like this feels a little strange. Like, I know how to play this style of deck. I like the fact that it not only has the Displacer Kitten strategy, it has Sai. It can do shenanigans that way. I think we're gonna play this one. After all that, after talking myself into all the different things, I think we're gonna play this one. All right, I'm gonna change that Lion's Eye Diamond real quick for the purposes of, you know, looking nice. By that token, if I have Leyline, should I have? If I have Leyline, should I have a helm somewhere? That'd kind of be funny. Alright, so let's try this one. Hey, if we bomb out, if we like are 0-2, then fine, I'll just stop and we can go play the other one. How about that? That's a deal. If we start 0-2, I'll just stop. Where's the leak? Okay. Karn combo Urza Karn. I don't remember if that was the name of this. Karn combo Urza Karn. Deal. Alright. I mean, you can see my avatar when I play in events is Karn. You'll see up here in the corner here in a second. See? I'm a Karn person. I knew that was going to sway me eventually. So what do we have here? We have cash in a Lotus Petal for a Chalice of the Void. Is that good enough? I have no idea. I also don't know what my deck list is. 2 Cavern of Souls, huh? Cat, Beast, Human, Construct. One, two, three. Well, I guess we'll find out. Let's see if it's any good. Well, it was good enough for a Force of Will Ponder. Force of Will, Ponder, Noble Hierarch. Is that Infect? It feels like Infect. Take it. Okay, Thought Monitor is reduced by 3, meaning it costs 4 mana. Put it out there on Construct. Pay 3 and a blue. We have a Displacer Kitten and we have a Shadow Spear. So we currently don't have... Ho 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 ho. I like it. Does that mean I need to save the Shadow Spear to blink? Or do I hope to draw a 0? I'm going to hope to draw a 0. I think that's... Oh, you idiot. Because I could have used Ancient Tomb to have 4 mana and then blink. Yep, that's just stupid. That was stupid on my part. Yeah, when they Force of Willed us and then played a Noble Hierarch, I was thinking Infect 2, Phoenix Crest. They got 3 cards left. See, now I'm very stupid for not having... I was thinking that I was going to need Cavern to force the Displacer Kitten through. Right? Let's see how they fight over this. Force pitching Daze. Okay. Well, we have Displacer Kitten ready for the next one. They only have 1 card. Them only having 1 card makes me not too worried about the Glistener Elf. Does it have to come into play? When you cast. Okay. So we still have Displacer Kitten available to us next turn. I'm currently going to take this, though. No blocks, because I don't believe you. No blocks. I don't think you have it. Plus, I want to try to kill you on my... So they have at least Invigorate. Did you... You only had 1 card. Did you have it all? Well, bravo. I should have known better. They're Infect. Of course they have it. And we would have had enough to at least blink, draw 2 more cards. Okay. Well, now that we know that they're Infect, what would I change for Infect? I would want Dismembers. I want to have Chalice still. Sai can create a bunch of blockers. I feel like the life gain from Shadow Spear, though, matters a lot less. Also, the fact that Urza costs as much as it does might be a hindrance. So, Dismember's in at a minimum. And I think Urza's out and the Shadow Spear out. Other than that, Sai generating blockers, Displacer Kitten to be able to block and blink. I like that idea. Karn is kind of our, Karn being able to find Ensnaring Bridge and stuff like that is important to keep in mind. And I think we want the Chalices. So I feel like this is the swap. It feels like a pretty straightforward swap, especially since they could have Collector Oof and stuff like that. I think we definitely need the Dismembers. So I'm going to go with that and hopefully do something better. Two for Chalice of the Void. Follow that up, and I could play a Karn on the following turn. So I'm going to keep. Alright. Does Chalice on 1 resolve? The answer is no. Which now means I don't have a Mox Opal turned on for next turn. Unless we draw something. Okay. So 2, 3, 4. Is this walking into days? 2, 3, 4. That would have to cash in. That means the Mox Opal is not turned on. But at least by them picking up days, that's less mana for them to play other things. Costs 5 mana total. Okay, they did not have days, so knowing what I want to do long term with this, I'm going to try to set up. Let's check the sideboard real quick. It's a very small sideboard. I think I'll go get Lion's Eye Diamond with the intent in trying to set up. I'm going to pass here. I don't necessarily want to put it into play because I expect things like Force of Vigor, etc. from them. I don't know why they wouldn't have Force of Vigored me already. This could just be double Noble Hierarch, Invigorate, etc., etc. Wipe me off the board. Okay, that might just eat Karn too. Indeed, Karn saves us 5 life. Good work, Karn. Okay. So, theoretically, Saga token. 1, 2, 3. You can't get blue off the Mox Opal, though. Well, you would be able to get blue off the Mox Opal once we make... I'm going to pass here with the ability to make a blocker. What card do they know out of my hand? They know the Lion's Eye, but I played it. Hi, Lily. Blighted Agent, Noble Hierarch, okay, so they're staying home. Appreciate that. So, could just float mana with the intent to Thought Monitor here. 1. But do I really want to lose out on having another Urza Saga? I'm going to say no. So now, Mox Opal does not seem like the greatest because it just dies, so I'm going to say Lotus Petal. Mishra's Bauble could draw me a card and also give me an idea of what's going on over there. Okay. So these cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reduced. Still 2 mana, so we're not quite there yet. So if this attacks, I can't block it anyway, so I might as well swing in. That's a deal for me. Okay, scale up is coming. We might be dead, but we have Force Will. So, draw a card. City of Treasures, not what we were looking for, theoretically. Scale up has been declared. I guess that was worth, what, +4, +5? Maybe that's what I needed to kill. Because, I mean, I'm not dead yet. Okay, so we stop that. We take our 7 Infect. Now that's curious. 2 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that still gives me Force of Will mana. Or if I need to keep it up. So let's play this. And swing for 11. With the intent of racing them this way. Because now I effectively have lethal on the following turn. That gives them lethal. So countering that. Only gives them 9 Infect. They now need 2 blockers. That was smart on their part. They realized they needed the 2 blockers, but it's not enough. Alright, we win game 2. Anything change? I don't think anything changes. We are going to be on the draw now, so those turn 1 chalices are less impressive. Meh. I don't really see much more I can change. Theoretically, that Force of Will was better saved on the scale up, because it was +5 versus Vines of Asphalt, which is +4. But that's just me not necessarily thinking at the time. This is a turn 2 Karn. This is a turn 2 Urza. This is a turn 2 Urza that can't be forced. Or dazed. It would be really awesome to draw something like a Chalice on the first turn. Sure. Ponder for them instead of leading on a threat is very nice. No shuffle, always scary. Ooh. Does that change anything? No, it gives me a blue card. So I'm playing Ancient Tomb. Pass turn. So I wonder if they're curious. Well, he played Ancient Tomb, but he didn't. Okay. So if I were... I kind of want to keep these two together. If... I think I need to give myself Force of Will ability. So I'm going to name Human. And then that gives me the construct. Okay. There's nothing I can do to stop that. I cannot stop your flyer. Okay. So, how can I get maximum 1, 2, draw 2. Okay, so then this sets up Displacer Kitten. So I'm going to put this out for purposes of, let's say, days. I'm just going to go beatdowns. I don't see any reason not for beatdowns there. Still, 6 cards in their hand is a lot. Okay. Maybe brainstorm setting up something better with the Misty. Thinking long and hard about this brainstorm. Maybe they have all payoffs and no creatures to do it with. Maybe they need more lands if the creature they have is the Inkmoth Nexus. Okay. So hear me out. I'd have to get both Karn. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can tap these things 4 mana, however. But then I'm missing the blue card to protect myself. Alright, force pitching force from them on the card. I think I let that happen. I can attack for 5. I can also attack for more. I do like keeping that up, though. Alright, Thought Monitor staying home, holding down the fort. We have hard cast force here. Do we hard cast force? Or what do I lose? These 4? These 5? What if I spin up force? That would be sick. Oh, we spun up H2. So I currently don't have blue mana to play this kitten. Now I do. That's a good point. I would have had blue just playing the Mox. Gonna get greedy here. We're gonna attack. Now I'm gonna cast the Mox. Kitten is gonna blink Urza. Okay. Pass turn. Pass turn, try not to be dead. Because if I'm not dead, I untap into Force of Will. Okay, that's problematic. And this is going to be a case of, once again, is it enough to kill me with what they have, with their 2 cards, 1 card that they drew? Sure looks like it. So then, that's my fault for going for the Force of Will. They could have Pendelhaven first, not that any of it mattered. So that was me being greedy. Oh. Because if I would have just kept the Force of Will in my hand, let the... Because they ended up with Berserk and Scale Up, they needed the 1-mana spells to go off. So, what did I truly gain by playing out the Displacer Kitten? I blinked Urza. I blinked Urza to get a new token. It's not like I drew a card on it. It's not like I got anything out of it that way. So, the Seeds of Innocence was rough. Because Seeds of Innocence was able to clear everything I had there. I think by letting myself in the very first game, when they only had 1 card left, I thought, you know, oh, you don't have it. You've only had 1 card and whatever you drew, but it was enough for them to piece it together. And then in that third game, the fact they already had 2 cards, yeah, they could have actually made it bigger with the Pendelhaven, but they didn't. Oh well. So parts of that were interesting. Like, obviously, Chalice is going to ideally be good against multiple decks that we expect to face. It's going to turn off Swords to Plowshares, Brainstorms, Ponders, etc., you know, compared to the other deck that we wanted to play. All right, on the play again. No quick Chalice here, unfortunately. But what can we build into? We could have a turn 2 Chalice. Is turn 2 Chalice fast enough? And you never know. We could bauble them, but then by then it's probably too late. 1, 2, you could play Grim Monolith instead. I don't know if I'm... doesn't feel it doesn't feel fast enough. I say it doesn't feel fast enough, and then this is theoretically slower. They also mulliganed. The fact they mulliganed... Which card do I throw? I feel like this is more keepable. I can try to power out an Urza. If the plan is to power out an Urza, I think the Bauble can go. The Bauble would be a redraw. I'll try that. Let's see how low they do go, though. Pass. Scalding Tarn into Tundra. Tundra's at least different. Ponder. They could be Jeskai. They could be Teferi Displacer Kitten. I mean, they could be. I didn't look if they're not a Yorion deck. Okay. I mean, that's stuff worth. It's stuff worth looking at. No shuffle ponder. Okay, so I am going to play this out on human. And from that, deploy a monolith. Pass turn. Now this could be a prismatic ending, taking away the Grim Monolith that we have made. They're paying costs, which makes me think that's exactly what's happening. Now, if I were to Psy this, or I'm sorry, if I were to force this, I mean, I honestly don't have anything else going on. Let's use that blue. Now they could have a swords for this. It's too bad I don't have a follow-up with that 2 mana. That would have been sweet. Just a poor little 3/3. So is it bad that I've already talked myself off this deck? Because I feel like I have a lot of the issues that I like the 8-cast deck, but sometimes in the 8-cast deck, you know, you're hoping for the draw 2s and the baubles and the amount of, what do I want to say, velocity you have to get through cards. And right now, it kind of feels like I don't have it. I mean, I have 2 baubles. I have 1. No, I do have 4 thought monitors, and you have the. It's not the same amount, I guess is where I'm going. Okay. I have a feeling that this might be an O2, and if we are O2, I'll shift gears. I'll play the other deck. They're just gonna go get a 4/4. I can't beat a 4/4. Psy can beat a 4/4 with lots of little idiots. Probably can't beat that one. I'll get Chalice out on 1 for future brainstorms and ponders and swords. curious that they didn't. Curious, I was going to say that they didn't play the Timeless Dragon. Maybe they forgot. That felt more like a Shark Typhoon in waiting, though. I could be wrong. We are just going to play so many of these in a row. Deal. Spoilers, I got another one coming. Yep, you got a 4-4. So, this could go get... It could just get Ensnaring Bridge that I have it. Could also plus. I don't particularly want to plus. It would absorb an attack, then I could subtract, go get it, Karn play, and have it. 4, 5, 6. Depends on what their cards are. I've got a game plan here. It's not... It is a plan. It's not a great plan. I really don't like when they pay costs. Retrofitter Foundry? Why is that in your deck? You a Saga deck? You a Standstill deck? That's insane. Okay. One, two, three, four. We're gonna go get a bridge. Sure. I guess we're giving them... Yeah, see, they're also a Saga deck. We were giving them time to stop us, but... Sure. Go crazy. No blocks. They have one card left in hand. See, why would you tap so low on your main phase? So from here, So I could play a Karn, turning off their ability to attack. The last card would be like a hard cast, Force of Negation. Yeah, that's totally fine. I don't care about that card at all. So now the question is, should we just go get the Lattice? Standstill, make you draw cards? That's hilarious. I knew they were a standstill, though. Okay, so we have found Sai. Does that mean, what's in the deck again? What are we getting here? Nothing? We got a Mox Opal. All right, do they draw it or not? Did you draw the Force? Or are we done here? Okay. See, maybe I needed to have a 14-14. They could just go get Pithy Needle. If they have Pithy Needle, that's going to suck for me. Big bucks, no. Ah, boo. Alright, so now I need to remove Pithy Needle. Lily? That's enough. Well, that helps. Hey, look at us getting a win. It's lucky. So, based on the Eternal Dragon we saw, is Leyline something we even want? I don't know. I mean, it's one course of action. That doesn't mean it's great. Do I want more Force of Negations to fight? What are the other kind of cards they're going to have? I think I do need to fight over some stuff. The Shadow Spear does seem weak. But that might be my only way to break through. I cut 2. I don't know. What do you guys think? We're going to be on the draw now. Chalices are going to get weaker, but they're not a fast deck that gives us time to deploy. Maybe I'm just overvaluing what Force Negation does. Like, Urza was great there. Maybe Trim. Like, the whole deck is focused on the Kitten, but it's Kitten with Karn together. It's a lot of 4-mana spells to do and hope that the shields are down. And see, maybe that's why the Teferi setup is potentially better. I mean, we rumbled and stumbled and bumbled our way there, so... Just took a timeout to pet the dogs. The dogs need pets every once in a while. Opponent thinking about their 7-card hand. All right, what do we got? We got quick Chalice of the Void, but it's a quick Chalice of the Void that crumbles fast. I don't know, City of Traders doesn't seem like what we want. I mean, I almost feel like this is the game plan. You know what I mean? Like, they can try to hit the Saga, but that's just the plan. Ponder, no shuffle. Should have played the Mox Opal. As soon as I did that, I'm like, should have played the Mox Opal. Can we get them to break first? What I want to know... Well, actually, I don't have Pithy Needle, do I? So that's... Lack of Pithy Needle is less impressive. Right? Attack. We gotta put the pressure on them. We gotta make them crack the standstill. Sure. Make them hit for a little bit more. Now, what did they go for? They went for basic planes. They could have Wrath here, right? And then I've missed out. Oh, that's not impressive. So you're just dead? That's mean. So they're going to give me a handful of cards. So because I pushed it, okay. So on my turn, this could get a Lotus Petal. That looked like a yield. Blue. Okay, blue 2. Cast this. Blink Grim Monolith. Okay. Play Karn. Blink Grim Monolith. Alright, so Karn blinks, and it seems like they didn't have an answer there. And that's good enough. So we started with a loss, but we turned that around and got a win. So no O2. Sorry, haters. Guess we got to keep playing. And then that includes me. I'm one of the haters. Sometimes, if you have enough options, you can just kind of trip and fall your way into, okay, well, what did I draw? Oh, Karn's pretty good, and what can Karn get me? And things and so forth like that. Yeah, so this is the version we tried in Doxus with once the kitten gets going, everything you pay lets you blink. Now, imagine that same interaction with Teferi. So with Teferi in play, you're protected from your opponent doing most anything, and then you play a 0-cost spell, you blink Teferi, minus Teferi to pick the 0 thing up and draw a card, play the 0 thing again, blink Teferi, pick up, draw a card, etc., etc., etc. So what this version is missing is you can do stuff. Karn gets Lion's Eye Diamond, Karns goes and gets Tormod's Crypt, and that lets you get all the mana and stuff like that you want, building up to a big Walking Ballista or a big Mycosynth Lattice. Teferi, especially if in this version we were talking about doing stuff with Mox Amber and Teferi, that you can add mana every time you go through the loop, and once you have a bunch of mana you can play Monastery Mentor. Actually, once we have a bunch of mana we can play Karn and have the Mycosynth Lattice lock. So maybe that's just why that is a better version to take. That might just be the better version to take of between the two. Sorry about that. So yeah, like that's the idea of going down these different paths with the kitten. Does it make... Like, what I was going to have to do there, theoretically, is play the Chalice out as a way... No, because once I had the Karn, if Karn resolved, Karn could go get a spell that would be the next blink. So, okay, I was worried that I would have to play out the Chalice to mess myself up. Oh, I didn't know that was your name. What's up? So yeah, the idea that the kitten combines with either these cheap effects. I really think using it with Teferi, though, is probably the smartest, because at least having Teferi there, it's going to protect us from all the interaction our opponent has, short of Beseju and Odawara. But if we can do it quickly enough, that keeps them off doing the Odawara and stuff like that. Alright. So, this is a hand where we can start doing... We could do the turn 2 Urza Saga stuff. The question is that good enough? Against some people it might be. Blood strand from them. Basic island. Ponder. Snow-covered island. Does that give anything away? I mean, it can make you think they're going to have back to basics type effects, or the snow snake, things like that. Why do they care? Okay. So like I was saying, if we lead Saga, I can start doing turn 2 Ancient Tomb stuff. I could also Mishra's Bauble them. Hi, buddy. They did shuffle, however. I'm curious to have a little bit more idea what's going on. Delver of Secrets, well, that's boring. Could they be... Why would you start on basic? Okay. That's weird. So hear me out. One, two, three. We can save that for next turn when we get Seed of the Synods going. Island Mystics. Of course they had days. Sure. Seems perfectly reasonable. Maybe you get the Mystic Sanctuary out there so you can daze whenever you need to. Bold strategy, but we'll see if it pays off for him. So now, unfortunately, we do not have Pithy Needle to punish them. They don't know that, though, and so they're going to cash it in. Do they have Brazen Borrower? I guess we find out. Eight cast is normally rough for Delver, but they have the meltdowns and stuff like that that you have to worry about post-board. See, they had the Petty Theft after all, which is okay. What's going to be interesting here is Displacer Kitten able to blink the Thought Monitor. Lily, we get it. Hi, you're a very important dog. Okay, can't blink. They're gonna play a Murktide Regent, who, I mean, overall is going to be smaller than this construct. So, we know at some point they had a daze, but they had brainstorm stuff around. So who knows what they really have left. We can start by playing an Artifact Clan. Force on the Grim Monolith. Okay. So as of right now, that is equivalent to ours. If we suited ours up as a 7/7 and swung in, we would trade. And then from there, what do? If we suit up, we're a 7/7 going to 8 life. If they don't block, we go up to 15. If they do block, we trade off and go to 15. And then it's the top of their deck with a Suspended guy and a Daze versus what we have. I can't wait a turn because they have 10 in the air. So I swing in. I make them trade. Okay, that's not what I expected. I'll take it. It's not what I expected. Because now they're going to be on chump duty? This can't block. I mean, they have 13 in the air next turn. We'll go get Lion's Eye Diamond. Swing in for 9. Got him. Okay. I wasn't sure if I was missing something there, so maybe I guess we just weren't. So I have found in the past I don't necessarily want to be fighting them with Force of Negation, but the things they are going to kill us with, we need to Force a Negation. You know, so a better way to say that would be Meltdown. Meltdown is the thing that's really going to be the biggest issue for me. And because of Meltdown, I think I maybe do need to rely. I do need to rely a little bit more on Force of Negation. Now, I've also seen the benefits of like bringing in Leyline of the Void. It really hampers Murktide Regent. It neuters the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Now, there is some credit to that but I would have to mulligan all the way to it, and I don't know that I necessarily want to do that. I mean, they do still have Petty Theft. I mean, we've seen it from them. They're likely to keep it. That's a question of whether is being on the draw good enough for Chalice of the Void. Are there other things I would... I mean, Urza being 4 mana and Pyroblastival is not great. I think the life gain from Shadowspear was evident in how powerful that was. Sai is the kind of thing that's going to stop, you know, flying creatures and stuff for them. The Displacer Kitten idea might be too cute. Maybe I need to rely more on the, you know, that side. The 8-cast side, and I say that as I cut out my thought monitor. I think the most important thing is, if I get a Chalice in play, being able to fight their meltdowns. Force of Negation or no, Jeremy? Force of Negation or no? Force of Negation or no? I've decided no. I don't think this pans out either. Well, this doesn't have any lands. I guess that's awesome. This also doesn't have any lands. So this would be keeping 3 cards. Do I even want 3 of these cards? Ugh. So the fact we had to skip 2 of those hands just because they flat out didn't have any lands in them is a little brutal. I almost want to keep Leyline seat and just see what happens. But then they'll know I have Leyline. There's also the, you know, is this even worth it? Just go to the next game. Sure. Well, can we get to Chalice? We're gonna get Daze. I know that part of it. Slowly but surely, trying to come back. Hard cast Daze. That's also problematic, but we knew they had Petty Theft anyway. But the Chalice is stuck. So now I just have to deal with this idiot? Oh, I can't yet. I'm racing the Dragon's Rage Channeler. That they might... Oh, that's... See, barf. That's just a good card. Keeping their top card. If we could hit... Okay, no land for them. Snapcaster is gone. I'll allow it. We're doing great, Jeremy. We're doing great. They tried to Chalice check me. Unfortunately for them, I'm on Magic Online. Maybe they forgot. It's possible. Pass turn. Imagine if Leyline in the Void was a blue-black split card. So yeah, they're building up the Dragon's Rage Channeler to make it a 3/3. I was gonna say, are they just gonna throw... So here comes the Meltdown. They have Force back? Of course they do. Why not? So we no longer have permanents in play. Right on time for Urza there. Just, you're doing great, Urza. Oh, I fully expected the Wasteland there so they could flawless victory. Take it. I mean, there's some value to playing it. It doesn't really change anything, but... Bolt, trigger. That puts me at 8. The 6 puts me at 2, turns the Ancient Tomb off, so... Yeah, that was a classic. You can't stumble against Blue-Red Delver because it just kills you. So are those ley lines any good? I mean, not necessarily. I want to try to maybe have something lower to the ground. I'm going to bring in a Dismember, not that it's necessarily good, just that it gives me something more to do than a forecast card in my hand. That was my thought. So what do we have here? We would have a turn 1 Saga into start making things. Whether or not that's good enough, we can get to the point where we want to try to Displacer Kitten, and I like that idea more than just throwing it back into the Mulligan lottery. That's my thought. Now we're going to die to their meltdowns again. Cool. So next turn we get 7 mana. But they are a resource denial deck, which I've heard, according to Wizards R&D, resource denial decks are a thing. So you got to make sure you can play around those. I'm going to pass the turn from here because I don't want to throw City of Traders out just to die. Big bucks. Come on, Urza. Theoretically, could I have played a Thought Monitor instead? Yes. Would Thought Monitor have been better? 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have had 3 artifacts. 3 artifacts reduces it to 4 total mana. That same 4 mana could have been out there trying to draw me a card. Well, that's a spectacular draw. The good thing is I'm not bitter at all, because that would come through poorly if I were bitter. Instead, I just get to play against this new brew our opponent is playing. Seems to be playing blue and red cards focused around like Delver, Dragon's Rage Channeling. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I think Urza Saga is just better than what's going on out there. So this will be the time that they've saved their wasteland to punish me for the saga. As I do my best not to fall asleep. I think one of the biggest things that bothers me about Blue Red Delver is there aren't decisions. Like, a lot of people like to talk about how skill testing Delver is and things like that, and honestly, I think they're completely full of it. Like, there's nothing skill testing about Delver. There isn't. And if you believe there is, you're kind of an idiot. They literally just play the cards in their hand every turn. It's really not hard. I mean, that's especially what this deck over here does. Okay, flow to colorless. I mean, of anything here, like Lotus Petal being one-shot mana, Mishra's Bauble can try to draw us another card. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could at least try to play the kitten. The kitten, and then Bauble draws us into something new. Hear me out. How much does this cost? Pay 5 mana. Well, I don't have 5 mana. I would have had 5 mana if I would have gotten a Lotus Petal. I like how this is just going to eat a bull. They could just daze it. They might be reading it. It might be a lot to ask from somebody playing Blue-Red Delver whether or not they can read. Murktide Regent, sure. Shuffle it away, it's not good. Darn it. Brainstorm first, help build it up. That'll give them 1, 2, 3, 4, a full delve. Another Wasteland for good measure. Alright. Jump back in. I really do think it might, like, a lot of the problem when you play 8 cast and, like, before that, the Karn Echo style things is you're taking a lot of the agency out of your own hand. And that's a lot of, so with Blue-Red Delver, the Ponders, the Brainstorms, Expressive Iteration, you're looking at a lot of cards and you have more of a decision tree, so maybe there's more mistakes that you could make. But going back to what I was saying is all you have to do is play the cards in your hand and the deck will win for you. So I guess it's making sure you don't throw away the good cards, which really shouldn't be that hard. It helps to have good cards in your deck though, and that seems to be a problem we're having. So, we could go with the Saga into Ancient Tomb plan. With the intent to get to Karn. We could also just go turn 1, that, next turn play Karn. Force of Will be damned, or Sai be damned, and hope to draw a blue card. We're on the draw, though. I like to have Force of Will protection against some insane stuff from them. And I would feel really bad throwing away the seat without having anything to do. I think I am going to go with the slow Saga plan. Shelldock Isle from them definitely leads me to believe they're either on Doomsday or the Thassa's Oracle pile. Not pile in a derogative sense. See, now I should have played. Let's see how quick they go for it. Okay, so what am I going to do here? My life total is irrelevant. So more than anything else, I want to pressure them. So based on that, I want to get an artifact in play. And because of that, let's get 2 artifacts in play. Next turn, adding another artifact. Potentially, okay, what I was going to say is what we learned from the other match is not giving away Force of Will. You know what I mean? When I gave away Force of Will and I didn't need to, that was definitely not big brain thinking. So here, knowing similar what they're trying to go for, it depends on their build whether or not Chalice is even any good for them. Punishing Waterfalls, when they were playing the deck, and what I liked of them is that they really didn't have that many one-drop cantrips. Because you don't want to fill your graveyard, it makes it harder to paradigm shift into the Oracle, if that makes sense. So I do wonder if these Chalices are less impressive, and I would rather have Force of Negation. By that same token, if we were to play Leyline, not allowing them to have anything for the paradigm shift, it definitely would make what do I want to say? It makes them go for it all at once. You can't set up the, well, here's one card in the graveyard, set up paradigm shift, so that's my top card. If that makes sense. So if I were just to do a Chalice for Force Negation swap, yeah, that might be fine. Well, this hand sucks. This hand continues to suck. I think we flat out maybe just we took this list, but there's just not enough lands here. I mean, there's 18, but having 18 lands where Saga. Okay, how many do I get to keep? I get to keep 4 cards. Whatever, yo. Don't chalice me, bro. Ooh. Ooh. I like Unlicensed Hearse out of that. This is even more spectacular because both of my creatures are humans. I guess that's here's an answer to what I was just saying about having too many cantrips. You just hearse them away. That actually is smart. Show me your secrets. Jace, Wielder Mysteries, coming up. Draw me a force. My bauble is eaten. That's not a Jace. Or, I'm sorry. That's a Jace. This is not a Jace. I wanted a force. Now that we're all caught up. They have the ability to play Jace, but I can somewhat pressure it. It depends on how they can set up into it. Like, they could play Thought Lash. Thought Lash into Jace is very bad news for me. But it would use up the scary. I would have time to try. I'd have one more draw at Force and a Dream. Yeah, Hearse is definitely interesting out of their deck. This looks like Jace. This looks like Jace untap into maybe the Thought Lash. Oh, the force was there. They milled me. Brutal. Utterly brutal. Heartbreaking. So we got the blue card. It's not the kind of thing we were looking for. Going F Jace. I've already forgotten how far did I mulligan to 4 cards? Oh no, not 2 more cards out of my graveyard. Show me the Thought Lash. Show me the Thought Lash. I don't think anything changes. We just have to not mulligan to 4, which is entirely a problem with this deck. Like we said, we don't have the cantrip velocity. It's a lot of, hey, this is what I have. Is it good enough? And a lot of times the answer is going to be no. You know, like, here's 7 cards. I can't play any of them. Is that good enough? No. You go to 6, you go to 5, and somebody else that has incremental advantages is going to overpower you. Just that simple. So, let's see. Like, I was going to say, we snapped ours off pretty quick. What do we got here? Hey, is it good enough? Oh, it's not? Darn it. Let's mulligan. Hey, is this good enough? This actually might be good enough. So, we're going to go turn 1, Psy, play a Mox Opal.
Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Big box, no whammies. Let's draw another artifact or 2. What would Sorcerer's Spyglass turn off? Karn. That's fine. Urza Saga? You could turn Urza Saga off with that. That's what we're gonna draw now. We will draw Urza Saga. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. Oh no, not that I can't draw cards with it. Beat down, nice ancient tomb. Did they see, what did we kill them with in the first game? I don't know that we even did anything impressive. Now that's going to shut down. Is it going to shut down? No, I'm going to attack with the same things. It's just they're going to get to a point where they can make me pay 3. I'll allow it. Would love to draw like a 0-cost artifact. So the question is, do I let them flip it? Interesting that they're keeping it around. Like, they can make me try to pay the 3, but I could just pay the 3. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, so obviously we're going to try to counter this. If they have Force Will, that's bad. Which they do. So as mentioned before, this is bad. But I guess we have Sai to try to dig out of it. I like that they're gonna have to pay to keep their own Sorcerer's Spyglass going. That's interesting. Yeah, playing a Saga token is not going to be that impressive. Would you like to pay 2 for your Spyglass? No. They did throw away a Paradigm Shift. Kind of wonder what they got going on with their 2 cards in the end. Am I willing to pay 2 life? I think I am. Petty theft my side. Okay. I mean, they're on the beatdown plan, I guess. I cannot make another one and pay for it. So we could get this, we could suit up, we could swing. Or Mishra's Bauble to try to draw us a card. Attack for 3. I do have Trample. Okay, they're now at 3. Not sure what the game plan here is. Maybe they can just kill me from here. But I kind of feel okay with what we got going on. Take it. They could have more petty thefts. We'll go get a Lotus Petal. Make our construct bigger. All right. So we broke through there, got ourselves to 2 and 2. All right, let's play one more. See if we can come out on the break-even side of this or half our money back. 3-2 gets us our entry fee back and a pity chest, whereas we'll be able to... Now that's the thing, is make sure you don't open that pity chest until tomorrow, since that's when the new commander cards come in. Even though we have the all access token right now, it is worth thinking about that. Do I have any chests even anymore? Nope, currently no treasure chests. So, yep, Jeremy, just keep that in mind. But so we gave this a try, and I think this, if we were to play something of this effect, I would much rather I'd rather just go in on 8-cast. Like, if we want to try to incorporate this Displacer Kitten combo, I think we're safer setting up behind the pillow fort that is Teferi. I think that's just maybe the better way to approach it. All right, on the draw for the final match. They have mulligan to 6. Thoughts here: Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith. Next turn, Seat Tomb for a Sai. Play the Bauble, and now we're already 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts. So that next turn, Thought Monitor can go. What do I want to say? Thought Monitor can go try to get wider and drawing cards. That was my plan anyway. It's not that this is terrifically explosive or anything. I just feel like it's decent. Could be Delver. Gotta pet the dogs. Hi, Lily. You good dog. Do they, yeah. Good old Delver. Sorry. Maybe they're not playing a horribly boring deck. Yeah, who are we? Who are we kidding? Days into Wasteland. The thing, they gotta follow it up with a Wasteland, right? The question is, do they have the second days? If they have the second days, wouldn't I rather have Lotus Petal in play? The answer is yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Means this costs 3, so we'll pass the turn. No flip. I felt another daze, and it's like, oh, would I rather have another Thopter? Of course I'd rather have another Thopter. But I'm going to be so angry if they did, in fact, have the daze. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reduces this to the point where we can start playing stuff, or try to bring Saga online. This currently costs 3. Like I said, if I put one more in play, then it costs 2. Okay. So now we play a Mox Opal. We can play... Now we can get Saga out. Play Chalice on 1. That should help to start closing the door. The fact that they could... Well, okay, I was going to say the fact that they could have Bolt is why I wouldn't attack with Sai, but I'm no longer thinking that's a problem because Chalice has Bolt locked down. The only thing I would say here is maybe I still want to hold the Bauble because I don't want to draw the Shadow Spear. It would be turned off by Chalice. I want to increase the chances that we'll tutor out with Shadow Spear. And the fact I don't already have a blue card in my hand, if I already had a blue card in my hand, it makes sense to try to get the extra draw with Mishra's Bauble to get a force to go with it, or if I have the force to draw the blue card. The fact I don't, plus I want to keep the Shadow Spear in the deck, are the reasons I'm not cracking the ball. I really hope there's another Daze in their hand, too. Excuse me. Delver, no flip. Scoop them up. Okay. So, unfortunately, we remember we beat Delver game 1 last time, and things did not go well after that. So the question is, what did we do last time? And I think we want to keep some of the key elements of the deck. I do still think Leyline is theoretically worth it. It didn't end up panning out that way. I do question Dismember. If I'm going to go in on the Leyline plan, should I also have Dismember? And then the kind of things that just, you know, is this stop trying to be cute, take out the Karns and the Displacer Kittens, or I'm allowed to keep one of each? And if it comes up, it comes up. But try to be the deck that beats Delver properly. See, we have quick chalices here, but not off reliable mana. So I'm going to mulligan those. With this, we have the potential to deploy Alright, so my game plan here is a saga plan. Once again, I'm saying don't have the blue card, don't have the payoffs for it. I'm going to hold Bauble out there instead of just trying to cash it in immediately. This is the one Karn, isn't it? I was like, it's so weird. We sideboarded out the Karns, and yet here we are. Gotta pet the dogs. Brainstorming long and hard. And they have gone forward with Volcanic Island and a Delver. So now, theoretically, I'm not going to have mana for a little bit. They set things up with Brainstorm. I'm going to take the opportunity to mess with them. Sure. Now, is that a massive light swing? Yeah. Ooh. See, now I wish I had gone the other way. I guess we could have forced them to make it be something first, but... I wonder if it's gonna flip. What a shock! Keep in mind, they also have Lightning Bolt to deal with the Saga token we create here. Do we still make the token? I think yes. Is it worth 2 life to make it, though? So now the question is... if I float colorless... play side. This see, this can get Pyroblasted though. Yeah, paying costs. See, my thought there was setting up for Sai to play the pedal. We know they still have Bolt in hand. The fact they didn't play the Bolt, I can put pedal on the stack. Okay. Okay, they may be of the impression of throwing that bolt at me, which is reasonable. A lot of this might depend on what they find here. Yeah, that's another thing too, is they could just be building and or digging towards Meltdown. That why waste the Lightning Bolt on your construct? I can just draw out of it. Or I can just clear it all away. By that token, the fact, like we were saying before, I have Force of Will in my hand. should I have bobbled looking for the blue card, knowing what a problem Meltdown is, that kind of leaves us open to the bolt on the token, which is my only pressure. But maybe that is the right plan. If the top card is a blue card and we get Meltdown here, it's going to feel frustrating to have played around days before and then not played around the Meltdown here that we know is coming, or we know is likely coming from them. If nothing else, they're likely digging for it, but then they heard their laundry buzzer and had to step away from the computer, because sometimes you got to be careful that, you know, your sheets don't bunch up if you leave them in the dryer too long. They get a little too wrinkly. That might just be a case of they got to get a better fabric softener, or, you know, like those bounce sheets. Okay, so we've caught back up. They cast Expressive Iteration. Meltdown it is. Shocked. So Misty Rainforest coming for them. We will draw our card. Please don't show me that it was a blue card. I told you. So what's funny is I can't even really make the token by going to 6. They've already shown me the bolt in their hand. So we kind of are effectively locked here. I guess we could force a will it, but yeah. I really needed to crack the bauble. This is what it comes down to. We'll be even sicker. Yeah, we're dead. Okay. Do I need more options? Grim Monolith isn't that bad, but I still think we want to have it. What do you got? Nothing. Ugh. Ugh. Double City of Traders Karn. Meanwhile, we have to wait for our potentially double queuing opponent to come back so that we can mulligan this atrocious hand away. As they keep their pristine 7. Paint by numbers, or perhaps, since it is Delver, it's using crayon. Two cards back, huh? Turn 1 Cavern. Incoming Wasteland. I know I play slow. I talk through my game plans and things like that, and the fact that our opponent is just chugging along over there. There could be a lot of extenuating circumstances. I shouldn't be so dismissive. That's definitely a fault of mine. It's just frustrating when they're playing a simplistic deck and to have to wait for them to kill you. You know what I mean? It's the prolonged, put me out of my misery already. Oh, that is right on time. Doing the Lord's work. Hey, one more Lotus Petal and I can cast this leyline. We're almost there. I still think this should be blue-black hybrid, so I can pitch it to Force of Will. That would make it feel less bad when it's in your hand. But I think that's the entire point. Is it's supposed to feel bad. Yeah. The amount of times I've seen them be game-breaking is the reason that I put in Leyline. It really hasn't gone that way for us, and there's nothing, that I can really do about it. I would love to draw Urza here. That would be delightful. Good old rock. Nothing beats rock. Paper? What's paper? So it certainly feels like it will go this way, but to have won both game ones against Delver and to have the sideboard games come to Meltdown and Pyroblast being more powerful than the rest of our deck is definitely telling, that I think it likely would have been Can we play Relic or Tormod's Crypt? I mean, you can, but the idea is that it's the start of the game effect. Like, even if I'm on the draw or whatever, by the time I play those, how many, cards have they already started to feed the graveyard with? It's almost like it doesn't matter. Hey. We kind of got what we wanted. Come into play and get it Pyroblasted. What's awesome is we almost have enough to hardcast Force, but just enough that we don't. So I'm going to keep this one around for moral support. I might as well swing in with it, because I don't potentially want to block. They could they're just going to play the next Pyroblast. Because that is where the metagame is right now, that you play 6 Pyroblasts anyway, so... But this is where I'm saying, as they start to fill up the graveyard, Dragon's Rage Channeler getting the selection effect, as well as being able to feed future Murktide Regents. Now that's interesting that they're like, I don't even need this Murktide Regent, or... The bigger thing is that they're flipping the Murktide Regent to send Dragon's Rage to the air, so now that they have 6 points in the air. I just think, if I were to have played the blue-white Teferi version, I think the blue-white Teferi version protects the Displacer Cat combo a little bit better, versus... This, I'm a 8-cast deck trying to do other things, And I think the bigger problem is I shouldn't be trying to do those things, if that makes sense. So I didn't think through that part at all. Let's spin Urza. Let me get something sweet here. Get a Leyline of the Void off the top. Well, I'll take that one. They had Force of Will waiting for me. Leyline again, just doing the Lord's work over here. Now, I'm likely to be more punished that I tapped the Thopter for that mana, instead of having the ability to try to block. But this could just be a meltdown anyway, and we're all set here. Yep. So, I think if what we wanted to do was play... If we wanted to focus on the Displacer Kitten interaction, I should have played the Teferi version. Whether it was this Jeskai version that Anurag played, I think there is something interesting with this. That to be able to have all the protection and all of the points of interaction, and then be protected with Teferi when you want to play the combo. Or, like, the fact that there is a combo with just Karn and the cat is more compact. However, I think the surrounding deck there isn't necessarily enough, if that makes sense. So, in hindsight, I do think if I wanted to focus on cat things, I should have played this Teferi deck. And I think this is what we'll play instead. But I do wonder, do I need to go into the red for all of the effects it has? But, I mean, why not? Expressive Iteration is that powerful. Pyroblast makes sense, even as a main deck card, and going all the rest up in the sideboard. So, overall, this is probably just the right approach to take. That, while it's cute to do the Karn combo things and things like that, just playing a consistent 4 Brainstorm, 4 Ponder, Expressive Iteration, just burying the opponent in card advantage is probably just the smarter way to go about it. And if nothing else, we get to play Monastery Mentor, and that's pretty sweet. So, I think that will be our plan for next time. That, I don't know how soon it will be. Maybe I was looking at trying again maybe later this week or potentially this weekend. Get a little bit of practice in and maybe try the challenge on Saturday. So, I will let you know. Stay tuned to our social media channels. Not only can you find me at jpintermtg, but you look there for the link tree in the chat. You can find all of Swish Gaming's social media. You can support us on Patreon. You can find our videos on YouTube later. Our Twitch channel, obviously here. If you're not already following, please follow the channel. You can also catch our updates over on Twitter as well as Facebook. And that's always going to be at the Swish Gaming. So, appreciate you hanging out with us today. If you aren't already supporting the channel in some way, even if you're liking the Facebook posts, retweeting our Twitch, retweeting on Twitter, following, subscribing to the YouTube, commenting there, all of that helps us out. And like we said, for events that the bigger ones like NRG Lansing, Swish team members showed up and did really well, and you would have had access to their decks in advance if you were a Patreon member. So we post our stubs in advance. It is definitely worth it to you for only a couple bucks a month. So go check that out. And we're going to see you next time. You can tune in tomorrow. Steven is back every morning, 10 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, playing a little bit of Magic. Thursday, Friday, a little bit of Pokemon. And don't forget, if we get the channel up to 50 subscribers on Twitch, he is going to give away that foil Ragavan he has. So definitely tune in for that. But take care, everybody. We will